This is Jacob Ball with Jacob's Ladder, recording for Team Cardhoarder, and we're back for the wrap up. Well, I got swiftly defeated by all of my opponents in the league. I guess this deck is just too slow to compete in the meta. It doesn't have enough interaction to deal with the bigger stuff, and it's too slow to deal with the aggressive decks, even with the sideboards I had in mind. So I imagine this deck needs a lot more tools and maybe a rework of how it goes from the ground up. It's an interesting strategy. I feel like I misplayed a few times in the match. The sideboard probably needs a lot of work as well, but I'm not sure what exactly needs to change to if this strategy has any hope to see the light of day in constructed play. But it's definitely not. This deck is definitely not where you want to be, I guess. Emrakul seemed like it was going to be pretty good if I could ever cast it. It was fairly cheap every time, but I was always one land short every time I had it. I probably missequenced in some lines to that where I could have casted and won the game. Against that burn opponent, if I had drawn it on that a land on my last turn instead of the Wayfinder, I would have been able to cast it, and I'm sure win the game on the spot because my opponent had Eidolon in play. I could just probably burn his face off with his own cards, but I did not and just died. I might need some better tools in the sideboard for burn. Finks is probably just too slow. I maybe need something on 1 or 2, like for life gain, like the guy gains the landfall, gain a life guy maybe. Might be something for the 0-3, might be something worth looking at. But the way it's set up right now, I don't think it can beat hyper aggressive decks like that. But the Kozilek's turns didn't perform well at all. I didn't play against any of the matchups where I would want it. Burn's it's kind of good against Affinity and those kind of decks, and okay against Jund. And other mid-range strategies like Cord and Company, but I didn't play against those, so it wasn't very good. Just sideboarded out every game. Never got to do anything with this Decimator. It was just dead in my hand one game. Garrick didn't seem very good either. I just never wanted to cast it. I always had other things to do, so maybe this card should just not be in the deck. Should be more early interaction. Could be definitely where you want to go. The Emrakul seemed like a good strategy overall. The Tarmogoyfs got huge. That was definitely a thing. Wayfinder whiffed a lot for me. Maybe just with 20 lands it just isn't enough to hit with that card, but it was still fine overall. I'm not sure if there's anything else. Worldbreaker was fine. Ishkanah was fine as well. I only cast it once, but it seemed pretty good against other decks, so didn't change anything there. All's Dust really didn't seem like it had a place in my deck, but I don't know. It was just a travel card I wanted to try out to fit the theme. I'm not sure if Vessel and Map are just fast enough for this format. They're probably just too slow. You just need cards that are more efficient. Your turn 2 is just filled up with so many other plays that you can't ever crack it. So it's just a 3-drop in your deck, which is fine, I guess, but that's not ideal for sure for a format. So I would probably rework this. If you're going to play something similar to this, if you like how it looks and want to keep working on it, I would probably start from the ground up and change some of the early stuff and maybe see if there's some better enchantments you could play. Maybe move away from the Tarfire plan. Maybe even just switch colors altogether. Maybe move away from the green self-mill. Maybe there's something you can do with blue. But Tarmogoyf's definitely pretty great. I'll maybe go return to this deck in the future, but for now, I'd probably say it's pretty bad. Well, that's the end of it. See you next time.